Hey guys, Matt from Dyno Motorsports, and today we're kind of doing a little behind the scenes shoot. We've got a car here on the dyno that we're hoping to make some power with. We also have our Project ST that we're doing some stuff on. So yeah, let's go check it out.
This is Ride's Mazda 3 with a 3076 turbo on it and the Haltech. This car has been plagued with random issues. Lately, what we've been having is that fuel pressure drops out. We kind of surmised that the alternator was going bad. It didn't have enough voltage. He crossed his fingers, got the alternator rebuilt, put it in, and we're good to go. We got fuel pressure again. So not a pump issue. Hopefully we can get to tuning now. Start adding power. Not flat. See that?
Okay, so we just lost resolution on it then. Fuel pressure?
It's good.
Oh. Alright, 214, wrap it up. Not much has changed. So today we are taking off these coilovers that are on the car, which have been on the car for a very, very long time. They're completely blown. And we're putting on some coilovers that we're testing. So we're hoping to potentially bring these to market. We're gonna try and change some things with them, but we're doing that. We're also replacing the rear brakes on the car. As you can see, they are due for replacement. We're gonna be replacing the rotors, the calipers themselves. One of them is locked up, as well as the brake line. So I believe the brake line is actually what's contributing to the lockup. The calipers themselves might be fine, but we've got new ones. We're gonna be throwing those on. So yeah, got a lot of work to do. Gonna hop right into it.
Car's misfiring.
Misfiring.
Yeah, we lost.
At what RPM? All?
Yeah, it's just across the range. So we're gonna check plugs, check coils, go from there.
When it rains, it usually floods cylinder 1. And he just told me, for me, it causes a misfire, but he said for Matt, it kills his coil plugs.
Race car problems.
Yeah. Yeah, let me.
At least 28.
What should it be?
24, 26, especially when running E85. So that's a 28 and it just flies right in. They're closer to 30, now they're all between 24 and 26 thou.
Do an extra like 180 degrees. Nugget, and then do an extra 180. Give me your impact.
I actually use an impact to put spark plugs in. I actually use an impact to put spark plugs in my cars. In my cars. I'm very comfortable with the impacts I have. Yeah, what does that say? They say about insanity? Something about trying the same thing over and over? Hoping for a different outcome? Yeah, but it's still misfiring. I'm not gonna tune fuel while it's misfiring because misfires make the lambda sensor do weird things. You can see a big misfire right there. So there's a big one, and then there are a bunch of small ones down the line. So the lambda sensor is going crazy, getting this wrong amount of oxygen. So he's got it on cylinder 1. I might just swap out one. Donate a coal pack to the cause. This is dumb.
So if you've ever worked on a Focus ST and you've had to either take the strut out or put coilovers in, put upgraded suspension in, you know it can be a bit of a pain because the knuckle clamp design. So here's a really basic cheap tool that we're using. So what this does is it allows you to turn this with the wrench and effectively thread the opening so that way you can easily get your strut assembly back in or out. So now I'm going to loosen it because I just got this guy in. Yeah, just a little simple tool here that once you tighten it, it spreads and it allows you to spread the knuckle apart so that way you can get whatever strut you're working on in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to plug this in, but the harness isn't working. I don't know.
You're the new tech, right?
Something like that. Oh, this was bent a little bit, that's why.
No, that's not gonna work. The ones off my engine and his are not the same. Or he's just bending it. Your coil packs don't sit all the way down?
I guess not on this valve board. No.
Okay.
Still misfiring?
Less, it's better.
A few moments later.
It's not holding fuel pressure. Fuel pump's old, filter's old. Yeah, it has a surge tank.
Swapping out fuel pump. You made a sale. Made a sale. Success. Do you need the new filter for it, or do you? There's only 15-ish percent.
We're getting misfires.
Heads up. Oh, it's on. That's impressive. That still works. I figured these would be entirely blown. I mean, the car didn't drive that bad in the rear. There's a coilover adjustment right here.
Ah, I see.
So this is coming out. Hopefully. I'm hoping I don't have to replace the control arm. I'm hoping I can get this out. God. I figured these would all break.
Lucky.
I mean, they're not out yet, but. Got it out. That's one.
You got a post up here or something, right?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it's coming right there.
Yeah,
What?
it's coming from right here.
If I turn that fan off, it'll make it on fire. Grab me that blue fan in there. Whatever's getting really hot, I think those fans are keeping it just cool enough that it doesn't ignite. If we turn those off and this thing sits for a few seconds, it might just ignite. It's just hot. There's no air going over the louvers. That's all. There's a little bit of air keeping it cool, most likely. So if you turn that off and it just sits there and continues to get hot, it may light off.
Oh, you don't think it's the blanket? You think it's...
It might be. I mean, the blanket shouldn't light off. Like, you might have some oil on the blanket or something like that. The blanket shouldn't even be smoking.
Something getting really hot or something? Or yeah.
It's smoking.
Oh yeah.
So, gotta cool it off. Plug up the battery. You're like, there's no weird RPM versus speed fluctuations. Like, there's no evidence the clutch is slipping except the smell. Because I assumed the brakes are fine. I was worried about the brakes dragging. You put your hand by the calipers, your brakes are dragging. That's where the heat was coming from that was kicking my ass.
Clutch is gonna smell a bit more like rotten fish.
That's why it sounded like it was making so much power.
Yeah, it's not like
It probably
It
was.
sounded like it.
There was one
Probably
hole. We looked at each other and we're like, "Yo, that thing sounded like."
We were
Crazy.
outside.
The one where you walked up there was the one with big horsepower, big boost.
Yeah,
It was like 20-something
we were
PSI
talking,
boost.
And then like you can hear, because you can hear when the wastegate opens up.
Yeah,
like
when that thing said like 270 horsepower, I was pretty disappointed. Honestly, we probably put 70 horsepower through the brakes that whole pull. Why do we let him in? If the car catches on fire when it's on the street, is it still on our insurance?
Oh, by the way, you know, speaking of Matt, I don't think I've ever signed a waiver yet. For the 3 times that I've been here, I don't think Matt ever had me sign a waiver. I think you did the first time. Back when you were legit.
Back when we were legit.
My name is Roy. This is my 2008 Mazda 3. It's turbo. I should have bought a Speed 3. It was a different time. I was in college. I didn't have Speed 3 money. I turboed it. Lessons were learned. Mistakes were made. I tracked this car a lot, but for whatever reason, every time it comes for Farhan to tune it, it has some problems. So today we tried to make some power. We made some power, but not enough power, and I'm gonna go fix it so we can come back and make more power. I don't think Farhan likes my car though. We replaced the fuel pump, we replaced the alternator, we replaced coil packs, gapped spark plugs, we chased the misfire issue, we chased the low fuel pressure issue. battery voltage issue. Oh yeah, now we have dragging brakes too, correct.
Rough guess, they probably took about 70 horsepower those last couple pulls.
Last time the car was here, it made like 450 and then it dropped the valve.
We made something like, I don't know, 260, 270 horsepower at, I don't know, 15, 17 pounds of boost, something like that. Added another 5 pounds of boost, it made 270 horsepower. Where'd the horsepower go? Turns out the calipers were hot as hell, so it went right through the brakes.
What is he doing?
What's killing it today is dragging brakes, and it's not able to maintain fuel pressure. Fuel pump has been changed out, new filter, new fuel pump on a surge tank, but somehow it's a 340 liter pump, and we're only using about 160, 170 liters right now. So it should be able to maintain pressure, but it's not. So don't know where the pressure is going. It's pretty clear in the logs that as the fuel demand is coming up, the pressure is dropping off. So whether it's a pinch line or some restriction in the line, and there might be a downstream filter, I guess, that might have been plugged. Whatever the case may be, it's not able to keep up. So Riot's gonna take it back home instead of spending dyno time money, which is smart, and go diagnose the stuff. We've got a relatively safe street map on it, so he can go take a rip on the street and see if it maintains fuel pressure. But this is a lesson. Do not bring a hoopty to the dyno. It is gonna cost you. Like this is quite a bit of wasted time and effort, honestly, on both our parts. So Riot's a friend, so he's in the shop with us working on the car and everything. But you take it to somebody else's dyno and all the shit happens on their dyno, you're gonna hurt. So go over your stuff, get a couple base maps, make sure the car runs clean. There were a couple issues he thought he knew about and might have been addressed, and turns out they haven't been, or they weren't addressed. So we had a couple problems on the dyno. Some of those are fixed. Some of those, I guess, you're gonna dig in deeper.
So, little brief update on the Project ST. We pulled off the coilovers that came on the car. They were pretty well used. And we've got some new coilovers on here that we're testing that we're going to try out. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've got done today. We got coilovers on it. We drilled out the strut towers up front, so that way there's adjustability. Next up, we're going to be doing the rear brakes on the car soon, just because one of the calipers is locked up, and it's most likely the handbrake. So we're going to be replacing the handbrake cable as well as the rear calipers, rear rotors, rear pads. But that's kind of what we have planned for it, just to get the car street draggable. Once we get the car on the street, we're hoping to take to the drag strip, start making passes with it. Probably get a smaller wheel combo on it, some nice beefy tires, but yeah, we're excited for it and hope you guys stay tuned for more.